Test. We'll go ahead and call the Tuesday, August 9th meeting of the Danville Public Works Committee to order. Roll call, please. Establish a quorum.
Alderman Michael Kane,
Here.
Brenda Brown,
Present.
Bob Iverson,
Here.
Jim Pashard,
Present.
Carolyn Wands, Heidi Wilson, Chairman Mike Poor,
Present.
6 present.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll be approving the minutes. These will be from the July 12th, 2022 meeting. If there's no corrections, need a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 3 is approve the agenda. There are no deletions from the agenda, so need a motion to approve the agenda, please.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, item number 4, audience comments.
Does anyone wish to speak this evening? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Item number 5, chairman's comments. Be safe tomorrow. School's starting back up, I believe. And wait a little bit, I'm going to Royal Donuts. Extremely busy.
Chairman, they sold out, closed, reopened at noon, and had to close again by 2 because they sold out again. So tomorrow at 5, and they've changed the limit from 2 dozens to 1.
Well.
On the other hand, this would be an excellent time to go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Maybe they have some specials.
I received
Well-
a video on Facebook from a friend at 5 a.m. this morning, and it looked like it's a traffic jam. I mean,
It's
it looked like 100 cars,
Yep.
people in front of the building also. Yes, good deal.
good
Yeah,
for
we
the
got to support
community.
both businesses.
Yep,
That's right. They were backed up though all the way onto Hazel Street. So Hazel to from Hazel to Fairchild, from Fairchild to Vermilion, and Vermilion to the drive through.
Unbelievable. Community missed them. Okay, moving on to item number 6, the approval of the payrolls. These will be from August 5th, 2022. Need a motion to put that on the table, please?
So moved.
Second.
Questions on the payroll? Okay, roll call, please.
Vice Chairman O'Kane,
Yeah.
Alderman
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Item number 7 is the approval of the vouchers payable. These will be from August 9th, 2022. Need a motion to put that on the table, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, questions on the payables?
I got one question. We spent a lot of money on vending machines. Is that buses or?
That's the vending machine that we were approved to purchase that vends tickets down the transfer zone and takes a credit card.
Okay. Well, didn't think it'd be for pop machines at $37,000. Okay.
Other questions on the payables? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Brown,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Item number 8, Community Relations Administrator Greer. We have 8A, items of information, intergovernmental agreement for a restricted gift. You received that resolution with all the information.
Administrator Greer actually asked me to step in for her. So she spoke with me about this before she.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, we need a motion to put it on the floor, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
All right, so she asked me to speak about it. She spoke to me about it as she was putting it together. But so the media monster, the screen, the projector, and associated other parts that go along with it. Basically, the city used to manage that and rent it out as necessary and set it up. We have basically come to the point where we're unable to really provide good service in doing that. The airport showed interest in basically taking that over for us and actually still doing the same program like we were doing it. And then also the city would still maintain the ability basically. So we'll give them everything. It's a gift to them. If you read it, there's a few restrictions as far as if they decide they don't want to do it anymore, get rid of it. We have first right of refusal to take it back from them. But they're going to operate it just the same way we've been operating it. The program, and also we have the ability to get it and use it at our own leisure as well. So
Free of charge.
yeah, free of charge.
So other people, groups in the community could
Yep,
request.
groups in the community can still request it. They just basically request from the airport now, and we'll make sure that we're forwarding them up there anytime that they would request it. And the airport will take care of them completely.
Great.
So.
Questions?
Well, is there a reason or purpose that the airport's going to be housing it instead of the city, or?
The airport is just, they're an agreeable body that's a governmental body that's willing to take it over and run the program, and they have the means and methods to be able to do that we don't have currently.
All right.
Director, you were gonna.
Yeah, in addition, the rental fee for this was always paid back out in labor to man it, to put it up, to sit there while everybody else watched a movie and then wait and take it all back down. The city was making absolutely $0 for the labor involved. All the personnel that used to actually put it up are no longer employed with the city of Danville.
Other questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Iverson?
Yes.
Pashard?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Wilson? O'Kane?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
4,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Item number 9, Public Transportation Director Beats. We have 9A, a resolution approving the disposal of surplus personal property. Need a motion to put that on the table.
So moved.
Second.
So these are the 4 buses that we're going to dispose of since we got the 4 new buses. So 2 of them are no longer usable. We call it cannibalized them to the point where there's, they don't even run. So they'll have to be towed to a scrapyard somewhere probably. The other 2, unfortunately, IDOT is going to take those and give those to another transit property that is in need of buses. So, I was kind of hoping we could donate it to some other nonprofit or something. But, if another transit organization needs it, then, we can donate it to them, I guess. They're both still running. We've been using them in service up to the point where we got the new buses. So, we're going to work out the details of that, and they should be off of our property probably within the next couple of weeks.
What about the scrap value? It says on here, sell for scrap. What is the value when we scrap in the past? You don't know, or?
I don't even know.
Okay.
Whatever the prevailing rate is at the
Do we,
time.
at that, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Other questions?
The other 2 that you're not using, are they so bad that like a church wouldn't be interested in them or anything? They're beyond
Yeah.
repair.
We've taken transmissions and mirrors and seats and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And Director, just for clarification, those were purchased with state funds, and that's why the state can reassign them.
They were purchased, it was actually federal funds that flowed
Go
through the state.
and that's
Yeah,
why they
so.
can-
Thank
I just
you.
wanted to be clear about that. So,
Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Pashard?
Yes.
Wands?
Yes.
Wilson? O'Kane?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Iverson?
Yes.
4,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 9B is items of information, a monthly report. Questions on that? Anything, Lisa?
Well, I just want to add a couple of things that I forgot to put on the report. First of all, Stuff the Bus was mildly successful, not wildly, but mildly. And I think that's because there were a lot of places that were doing, taking school supplies and handing them out and so forth. So they've got some ideas about maybe how we can switch that up a little bit next year and make it a little more, a more exclusive, overall comprehensive event. So, and I'll let them talk about that unless Bob Iverson tells you about it.
They don't
This
tell me
week-
what they're doing.
I'm sorry.
They don't tell me what they're doing down there.
All those youngsters. So this week we're going to be upgrading the fire alarm at the transfer zone. It needs upgraded to 4G. So we didn't realize that it wasn't 4G. And when they came out to inspect it, they said it's essentially not working. It needs to be upgraded. So that's going to be happening this week. They completed all the work on our sprinkler system in our garage. Couple of other projects that we have coming up. IDOT gave us the approval to go ahead with our underground storage tank project. And our ARPA funds, our ARPA grant was executed this week, so we'll be able to start work on the back lot and the in-ground lift. And my consultant next to me here says that that's probably something that we could bid all in one, in one bid. So that would be wonderful if we could, because I'm not really good at construction bids. So one time's enough for me. And then this week we got the vending machine for the transfer zone that you were talking about. And so it's on site. We need to get the power going to it so we can check it out. And then they send the software down to do the Spanish conversion so that you can choose which language you want to use when you use the vending machine. So we're hoping by, the last week of August, we can have that up and fully functional. So.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, Director. Okay, moving on to item number 10, Public Works Director Carpenter. We have 10A, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of real property. Need a motion to put that on the table, please?
So move.
Second.
Questions?
Logan, maybe just to clarify so that the
I
public will
guess.
know.
This year, the list may look a little larger than normal, and there's a reason behind that. Last year, due to COVID restrictions, didn't really get a chance to do the pre-auction property acquisition opportunity like we do most years. So it basically doubled this year. And also the reason we're taking on 120 parcels, majority of those are blighted structures. They have either been condemned or are in pretty bad condition. Each property has been assessed and photographed. And as you can see in the map that is in your packet, there's no real rhyme or reason. They're all over the city. These are mostly condemned properties all around the city. And the 310 fund will take majority of the acquisition. You can see that we used a couple other funding sources this year. But after the acquisition, most of these will be grant funded. CDBG will pick up in the low to moderate income areas. And other grant opportunities are going to present themselves this year to fund the demolition, which is the expensive part.
Alderman McCain.
Well, just one little comment, and my wife's seen this through the county. There's a lot of properties around that end up in this trustees deal. And a lot of these properties, I hate to see anybody even buy them. I've got one property down the street from me that somehow it got purchased. Is there any way that we can notify or put something on this tax sale saying that this property is going to have to be torn down or it's already condemned? If you're buying it, you gotta clear the property off before people spend their money, and then it throws us back 3 years sometimes before we can do anything on these properties.
We actually have already done just that. I might ask Council Simon to explain.
We've made an arrangement, entered into an agreement with the Vermilion County trustee for basically two things. One, before the properties go to auction, we get a copy of the auction book, and Logan and others in Public Works pour through it to see what properties we might want to acquire. If we identify, which we always do, properties we want to acquire, we flag them, and then we work, we have to pay what everyone else does, the minimum bid. I think it's $800 or $850 now per property, but we get them. They don't go to auction. So that's one. Two, anytime somebody other than us buys a property through the VCT that's located in Danville, we negotiated an agreement whereby they add an extra document into the closing packet. And that document provides that they must, within a certain period of time, reach out to the city to meet with the city. And if necessary, if there's a structure on it, especially one that's dilapidated, they will have to comply with our vacant building ordinance, which means they have to register the property if there's a structure that's vacant on the property. And then they're going to have to provide a plan to either restore the property or the structure or demolish the structure. They fail to do that, they're subject to ordinance violation actions. So we've been on top of that, and I don't know how many properties we've acquired since we've structured this, but I would say it's probably 30 or 40 at least. And it's worked very well.
Well, I've got one down right off of Main Street on Cronkite that got bought 6 months ago that was condemned. That slipped through, and I'm.
We didn't
hearing-
have the agreement yet then, Vice Chairman.
Well, I
but-
know, but it was condemned, and somebody was allowed to buy it, and now it's in limbo because the person will not respond back to the city. I hear. Is there any? Where do we fit in on that?
Was this purchased from the Vermilion County trustee or just a private transaction?
I think it was trustee. It was the tax sale. Same time as they sold the Paxton warehouse again, I think.
Okay.
Well, there could be I think Logan might have been suggesting whether it's a private deal. Not every property that's abandoned flows through the VCT. What happens is when somebody's monitoring the tax records, if they see that taxes haven't been paid, anyone, I could go up and pay the taxes. We get a tax certificate, and then we wait. We have to wait for a certain period of time. And then after the passage of that period of time, and typically it's a 3-year process.
Well, I've been waiting 5 years on this property.
Well, but somebody must have
Some
bought
people
it.
have
There may
waited
have been
Well,
a
yeah,
sale in it.
They bought it after it was condemned.
There's
and-
nothing we can
and-
do to stop that.
Well, that's why I'm saying, are they getting notice on any condemned property if anybody's trying to purchase it that they have to do something before they purchase it, or is it after they purchase it?
I don't know of any restrictions that the city can do in a private sale. If the property is condemned, they have a legal right to know that the property has been condemned from the seller, but from the city's end, we can't stop it.
And if the property's been properly condemned, it should have been placarded, which puts the world on notice that the property's
Yeah.
been condemned. But the owner has to then comply with the
Can
ordinance.
somebody get back to me on where we are on 6 Cronkite then? You can't see the house hardly now because the grass is so high.
It could very well be a case already. We just have so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know.
Other questions?
So I have a good report. I've had a property, I think it's on Crestview, right up the road from your old buddy Jim Teague. And he'd been after me for ever since I'd been an alderman to do something about it. And I'd talked to Carl and others, and they finally went in and got it smoothed down, and then the weeds got up naturally high. And here a few weeks ago, where they mowed it, it just looks like a ball field, and I had people in Holiday Hills actually calling me and thanking me for that getting done. That was a pretty good eyesore. We still have a couple of homes that no one's living in, that the weeds is growing up pretty bad about. I've contacted Kenny about it and stuff. I don't know. The houses look like they need to be torn down, but I notice nothing in Holiday Hills is on the agenda to be demolished or anything. So I get a little down once in a while. Holiday Hills is a little bit rough at places at times. I told Carolyn here a while back, I said, I drive around the city and get my hopes built back up because I can go to other wards, and there's always a little area in about every ward that's is bad or worse than mine. So I'm thankful for what I've got. Thankful for all the help from the Public Works, Carl.
Vice Mayor.
And from what Logan said, as far as the numbers we have, I fully understand, and there's really not much we can do but go along with this, that these are terrible parcels that we need to do something with. But 120 more parcels for the city to take on, that just seems like we're presenting ourselves with a whole issue of how we're going to care for these on top of the hundreds we already have. But there really isn't much we can do. This is our one chance to get a hold of it and do something with that property.
Yeah, and to that end, we're running out of demolitions that we can legally, without going through the legal process, which takes a year, which through the video that the public should watch, we're almost out. And through CDBG and other grants, you either have to have the legal authority to demo or own. So this should set us up for a year or two at least with our demo schedule and public works team. It shouldn't take very long.
That hasn't ever been a problem, has it?
No.
Finding things to tear.
Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 10B is an ordinance approving the acceptance of permanent and temporary easements to the Woodland Trace Pump Station relocation project. Need a motion to put that on the table?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so these easements are for basically to facilitate replacement of the Woodland Trace pump station. That pump station is located within the Woodland Trace portion of Danville West. Right now, that pump station is situated in a very difficult to access location, and we're moving it to a location that's going to provide better access so that if we get an inclement weather or an emergency or whatever, we can more reliably service that station.
Questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman O'Kane,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Wands, Wilson, Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. If there's no objection, I'd like to take 10C, D, E, and F together. They all deal with purchasing equipment. Want me to read each one? Corporate counsel, should I read each one?
Yes.
Okay. 10C is a resolution approving the purchase of an automated refuse truck. D is approving the purchase of a pickup truck. E is a resolution approving the purchase of a replacement plow truck. And F is approving the purchase of a sign shop service truck. No objection, like take all those together? Need a motion in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or?
Okay, before I get started on this, I should have mentioned it to you earlier, Chairman, but we asked our operations manager, Patrick Surgeon, to come in tonight. I know that most of you probably have never met him. He formerly worked for Sam and asked me if he could get out of there as soon as possible. So I hired him. Patrick is actually still in the active reserves or guard, Patrick? Reserves with the U.S. Army. But he's doing a stand-up job, and we appreciate you guys allowing us to fill that position, okay? Feel free to, he said he'd stick around till 10 o'clock tonight and talk to you guys if you want after the meeting. But on these vehicles, if you read through them, you'll see that we are asking to also bypass some of the normal bidding procedures for the simple fact that in the past few years, we've been getting most of our vehicles through the Sourcewell or HGAC cooperative contracts that we piggyback upon. Dave and I spent countless hours, probably a total of 2 days in the last 2 weeks, looking over the internet for vehicles because both of our cooperative purchasing agents have told us that there are no cabs and chassis to purchase. If we do put one down to get on the list, in all likelihood, it'll take 6 to 8 months to get the cab and chassis, another 3 to 4 or 5 months to get the beds put on them. We're looking at over a year and a half to get anything. We ordered vehicles for Sam back in February, if you recall, 2 pickup trucks that they promised to me would be here in July. I checked on them yesterday. They have not even started manufacturing the trucks yet. That's how far behind they are. So in lieu of that, we've scoured the internet for some reason or other. I don't know why local dealers can't find vehicles if you or I ask for them, whether it be through the city or personally. But both Dave and I have come across trucks, and they're all in California, Colorado, Texas, and Florida. So you'll see that none of these vehicles are local. The closest one we could find one is in Indiana. That gentleman actually, when I spoke to him, is very familiar with Danville. His father or grandfather managed Burger King at one time years ago in Danville. So anyway, the garbage truck is a smaller truck than we're normal to. We would normally purchase, but as you see, the price of it is a lot lower also than what the normal rental truck center trucks we've been getting have cost. Last year, 2 years ago, we spent 280,000 on one, 329,000 now for the very same truck. A little bit smaller one from them was still going to be, no, that one was 365. The smaller one from them was 329. So it actually went up 80,000 for the trucks we've been getting, 40,000 for a little smaller truck. And we're going to be able to get one out of Florida for $255,000 instead. So we're happy to be able to get that one. We had set aside money to try to get 2 pickup trucks for the Parks Department this year. But once again, the price of those have skyrocketed. So in lieu of that, we're going to replace one that is used every day to haul around our skid steer for the Parks Department, as well as a plow truck in the wintertime. We're able to get that one truck for $56,000. The same truck from a couple other dealers is right around the same amount of money, but both of those units one's in Texas and the other is in North Carolina. And then finally, the dump truck will be replacing the old number 37, which is the last orange truck the city has. Dates back to the 1990s. It'll be an F-750 truck with a plow on it. It's already ready to go. Once we can get approval tonight and next week, that truck will probably be here in about 2 weeks for us. That price coming in a lot lower. We're going to split the cost between the general capital improvement fund and a little bit of money out of solid waste, because that truck will be used during the fall leaf season when we collect leaves to haul the leaves back and forth to the compound. And then finally, because we were able to get that truck at a much lower cost, we're going to purchase a new sign shop service truck. I'm sure you've all seen Rob Dietzen out putting signs up for you, Carolyn. And he's in dire need. I was going to stop and get the mileage off that truck today, but I'm sure it's right around 195,000 by now. So it's well beyond its use. So that's what we're looking at right now.
Questions?
I'm a little worried. I noticed every one of these, you included a snow plow. Are you expecting a really bad winter?
No, but
Or
this
you
just
just need to
shows
replace
you
them?
that these trucks are replacing trucks that already have plows on them, and we're not going to, we looked at just using the old plows, but that's not feasible. And if we don't get rid of the old trucks right now, we can at least keep them in reserve so that if we have a lot of snow and something goes down, we will still have other trucks to use, which, I've told you guys before, nobody realizes what the mechanics do for this city. Because without them, there wouldn't be anything running. Fire trucks, police cars, snow plows. So
Is the old plow usable in case of emergency?
yeah, it just ain't what it used to be.
Okay, kind of like I am.
You know the feeling.
You said it.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Other questions? Okay, roll call on 10C, D, E, and F, please.
Sorry, had to see who I left off with. Alderman Brown,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes,
Wands, Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
4,
Yes,
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 10G is a resolution approving a downtown TIF RIP grant application. Need a motion to put that on the table? Motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Logan?
Yeah, so another TIF grant application here for the downtown area at 137 North Vermillion. This is round 2 for this building. Fred and Ma is the business applying, and for transparency, this is an employee of the city of Danville, and she is also an employee for Fred and Ma. They've applied for, the total project is $47,267. And essentially what this is, there's a drawing, and they've done a good job of kind of explaining what they're going to do in the packet. They're going to be using the back end of the space for, right now, it appears to be a little coffee shop cafe. It needs to come up to code. There's no bathrooms that are usable in the back of the space. There's not a kitchen, and they're going to be adding on a patio. So majority of the expenditures are for the back end of 137 North Vermilion. Then also there was an unexpected expense. They ripped up the prior flooring, and it appeared that the concrete floor was extremely unlevel, so they were unable to actually put down flooring without spending money on leveling the concrete, basically. The application is going to be for 50% of that total amount at $23,633, which is right on par on what we've been allowing in the downtown TIF district for these grants, and more keep coming back at that rate. So we think it's a pretty good subsidy to provide to rehabilitate the downtown area.
Okay, I understand what they're doing, but what exactly is the business? I never got a clear understanding exactly what they're doing.
We're going to have to bring in Fred and Ma, the owner, to actually go over that.
Yeah, I saw where there's gonna be a coffee shop in the back, but I don't know what the
the
business
front is,
actually
yeah.
is. I've been
Adventure-
asking, I can't give an answer because I have no idea.
It's essentially a space for multiple use. So, for example, Adventure Awaits, the toy store, is going in there in the front part. They have multiple offices that are rented out by people, including an insurance agent, as well as I think Casa Vermilion County is actually bringing their office space there.
Something about that.
And then in the back is where they'll have the cafeteria. So it's kind of a multi-use space.
Okay, so they're gonna be renting out a lot of that space then, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all have seen the facade, but it looks really good.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? No. Roll call, please.
Alderman Iverson?
Yes.
Bouchard?
Yes.
Wands? Wilson? O'Kane?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes,
4,
Yes.
6 yes.
Thank you. 6 yes. 10H is a resolution awarding bid 703 for the reconstruction of Lafayette, Robinson, and North Streets. Need a motion to put that on the table?
so move.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, questions? That's by the museum, right?
Yes, so it's next to the museum. So Lafayette from Gilbert to Robinson, Robinson from Lafayette down to North Street, and North Street from Gilbert almost to Logan Avenue. I guess we didn't get the draft. I didn't have the resolution drafted yet because honestly, we're trying to decide if we're going to award the bid or not. We've seen a lot of pricing fluctuations, and it did come in overestimate. We were evaluating the numbers pretty closely, and from a time frame standpoint, rebidding is just not a good option to complete these improvements before the Carl at the Riverfront project is complete. So we're proposing to move forward with the bid. I provided a copy of the bid tabs or bid tabulations. We only had one bidder on the project, and we've called multiple companies. They're just all so busy, which is a good problem to have. You know, that's the problem we've been seeing this year is between the casino project, the Carl project, the FedEx project, all the other work, everybody's very busy. So we're still eager to get the project done and move on to a lot more projects next year. But anyway, I will have a full proposal or a full resolution in front of you recommending award of the project for council next week.
Alrighty.
Can we actually approve this without the resolution or?
Because this is.
Could we just
Yeah, or
move it to the full
can we just
council
move it to
next
the full
week?
council? Yeah.
So there is no resolution.
So no resolution.
It doesn't, yeah. Yeah,
So we'll just move it to, if it's okay with the committee, we'll just move it to the full city council next week.
yeah, so it says resolution on here, but
Second.
1.26 million.
What's that?
1.26.
Yeah, 1.26 million. Previously, we appropriated $1.1 million for the project. Our original estimate was about 1.1. We got very favorable bid on the Madison Street project, and we decreased our cost estimate for this one, which turns out was not a good idea. But so I'll be coming back. We'll have to appropriate more motor fuel tax funds as well, but that'll all be wrapped up in that same resolution. So,
Is this something that's going to plan on having done this season?
yeah, that's the hope. So I think it should be, we will be pushing it, but late November, early December, if all goes well. I don't think we'll be planting grass and trees this fall, but hopefully we'll get all the concrete work and asphalt work done.
So we'll take that to full council. 10I is a resolution awarding bid 706, 2022, resurfacing of Eastgate Court. Need a motion to put that on the table?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, questions?
What are you doing? Because you got a lot of truck traffic on there.
Yeah, so we're trying to get this, we're trying to beat the casino, right? So with their proposed opening date of February or March, this is kind of one of the main entrances and exits from the casino. So we don't want to have this road was literally built back in the, oh my gosh, I can't remember when it was, whenever Eastgate was built, that subdivision. I don't think it's ever been repaved. Was that the 70s, late 70s? So it's done pretty well given its age. So we want to get it paved before this construction season's up, and that's why we put it up.
Just cover it.
No, we're gonna mill off about 3 inches of asphalt and then put about 3 inches back. There's still another 6 or 7 inches of asphalt base below that, so it was built well, but we want to get it, upgraded and to go. And just for perspective, we've all seen gas prices go through the roof. Our asphalt prices are probably up at least 50%. We've seen some bids, go up 100% from what we were paying, this time last year. So asphalt is heavily affected by oil prices because one of the bituminous concrete that's in asphalt is a byproduct of oil refining. So
Roll call, please.
Alderman Bouchard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes. 10J, items of information.
I'd just like to let everybody know that we did have a very successful event downtown last Friday for First Fridays. Ashton had a touch of truck, so I took a truck down there with an old plow on it, allowed kids to draw pictures and sign it. When we started, it seemed like it was going slow, but by the end of the night, that plow was covered from one corner to the next. So the children really enjoyed it. What I observed was people of all ethnicities getting along, which touched my heart more than anything. It is proof in the pudding that things can be as they should be with all human beings if we just treat each other like a human being. And it was a wonderful event. The mayor sweat more than I've ever seen him sweat. So.
It looked like
And he
I've
was
been in
just
the
standing
dunk
there.
tank again, huh? If you haven't been down for a First Friday yet, I really encourage you to come. It's awesome. I mean, we had 3,000 to 5,000 people downtown last week. It was great.
They had the fire department had the hose down there, and the kids love getting soaked, including my grandson, who after he got soaked to the skin, the mayor didn't want him to hug him. And I thought, hey, Ricky, you're already soaking wet.
All right.
I
Thank
just
you.
like to say thank you to Director Carpenter. He always has some good words of wisdom and to make comments. And I'm just glad to hear that for our community because so many communities don't have that. And just being kind to one another, you'd be surprised how people can get along regardless of your differences, whatever they are, but just come together and enjoy yourselves. And we're all working together, like I said, to make this great city a greater city. So thank you. Thank you, Carpenter.
All right. Item number 11, closed session. There is no need for closed session. Item 12, anyone, or items of information, anybody? No. 13, committee members' comments. Already said them. All righty. Having satisfied the agenda, item 13, motion for adjournment.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thanks, Chairman.
I'll put an email out.